everyone. Today we have with us Siva on board. So hi Siva, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm good. I'm doing good. So,
Yeah, can you go ahead with your a bit of your like best events and what are the strokes do you do?
yeah, so I specialize in backstroke and IM events, and my major achievements recently were um, two silvers at the Asian Age Group and two golds and one silver at the South Asian Games. And also, I won the Karnataka Olympic Association Award uh, in the year 2020, Jan.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, I had some like a lot of questions about being such a pro athlete. You know, you have been on a very top level for such a long period of time. So, I have like a lot of questions with me. So, I would start with this question. Like, we always see the glorious side or the brighter side of one's achievement, and we always forget to see the flip side. You know, the hard work and the all the sacrifices that you make outside of the spectators view, because when you are competing you are just in front of the spectators, but the hard work that you put in, there's nobody to see it. So can you take me through that, like what, in order to be a successful athlete, what are all the hard work that you put in a daily to daily training regime or something like that?
Well, first thing that comes to my mind when you ask me that question is making sacrifices and making the right choices, right? So since the beginning, I had to make a lot of choices when it comes to whether I had to spend time with my friends or I had to spend time in the pool, and sacrifices also. So like you had to spend a lot of time exercising and practicing and stuff. There are things you lose out in, even including studies. So if you want to become a pro athlete, I think that's very important. And yeah, there are many other things. You can't, you won't be able to go out, or you can't stay up late night to watch your favorite TV show and all these things. So yeah, these are the basic things, like yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's cool. So can you mention any such like a race or event that haunts down you till date, like because something or the other like went wrong, and you had like a major breakdown after that race, because just because you couldn't give your 100% in that race.
Oh yeah. So this race, I was in Group One top. It was in Pune. So that was my last junior nationals, and I wanted to end it in a good note, my age group swimming, but it really didn't go that well as I planned. And in fact, my major event, my 400 IM, I was in lane five, I think, and I ended up coming fourth with a terrible time. And I was disappointed. Like I definitely broke down after that. But then, in a way, that pushed me to do better in the future. So yeah.
And like if you have like a time traveler and you can go back into that race, what are the changes that you probably would make like in that race, that 400 I?
First, I would have changed my mindset. I think the way I approached the race was wrong. Strategy was off, and also I didn't generally swim. I knew I could swim way better than what I swam that time. So a lot of things went wrong. I wasn't generally nervous, but mindset was not there. I probably I wasn't in the zone that time. Um, but yeah, there were a few things. I would have changed my strategy, and I'd have changed certain aspects of the race, definitely. At least to win the silver or something, because uh, I remember Advait Page was really far in that race, like he beat me by like 12, 13 seconds or something. So yeah, at least silver would have been good.
Okay, okay, yeah. So like we had to talk about your worst race. So can we have like a like the best race or the best event that you swam up till now in your like swimming journey?
Okay, so best race according to me would be the 200 IM I swam in South Asian Games. This was short course, and why this was really important, this race was really important for me was because I swam next to Matthew Abhay Singh, and He's an Olympian from Sri Lanka, and also I was swimming with Hari also, Sri Hari, and
Yeah.
it was a great race. I felt like an underdog in that race, to be honest, and I felt like I had nothing to lose, so I just gave my everything, and it was a really good race. I wish I could have recorded that race, but now I regret it because I don't have any. But yeah, it was good. It was really nice.
Okay. So you mentioned that your most favorite or the event that you like specialize in is the 400 IM. And IM, as far as IM is concerned, you have to be proficient in all the four different strokes, like the butterfly, freestyle, breaststroke, and backstroke. So how do you train the combination of four strokes? Even though I've seen a lot of swimmers who are actually proficient in the 50s, they can go all the four strokes like at a fast rate, but when it comes to the 200 IM or the 400 IM, they fail to compile that 450s or the 400s together, and they haven't have a favorable outcome in those races. So how according to you do you train for the 400 IM or any of the IM events?
I mean, first thing is that my training for the 400 IM is like a little different from the 200 IM. When it comes to 400 IM, I do a lot of freestyle training, and the reasons because freestyle is the easiest stroke to train endurance, right? And 400 IM is a heavy endurance event, so we train long distance freestyle sets, and then when we come closer to the meet, I train for pace, right? For 400 pace and 200 pace with the certain strokes like 50s and hundreds and stuff. So for 400 IM, it's mainly endurance building, and for 200 IM, what I normally do is first I focus on my strongest stroke, which is the backstroke. We train that a lot, and we do a lot of sprinting, like 25s and 50s all outs in practice. I think 2-3 times a week when it comes to other individual strokes for the 200 IM. And then when I come closer to the meets, we slowly start, swimming 200 IM lactate sets just to get used to the transitions between strokes, right? So when you turn from fly to back, you need to get used to that and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how I normally train for the 200 and 400 IM.
Okay. I just had like a question out of the box. We have always seen and admired Michael Andrew, one of the most youngest youngsters from US, and he is proficient in all the four strokes. But in the 200 IM, he fails to perform in the last 50, like the freestyle leg. He kind of falls short of of like that certain pace. Some say yeah, we should go below like something around 26, 25, but he fails to do that. So what's your say on that part of the 200 IM?
Okay, so as far as I see, Michael Andrew, he's obviously good in all the four strokes, and freestyle is definitely not his weak point because he does 50 freestyle. So, um, but if you see the 200 IM race in general, that's what I spoke about training for transitions. Your 50 and 100 free will be different from what you swim the freestyle in the IM, right? Because you have gone through that load of all the other three strokes, and then you have to still perform fast in the freestyle. So I think he could definitely look at his technique. I feel like his technique is a bit sloppy when it comes to the last few meters. He's really a fast freestyler, and also when you see strategy, right? The first 100 he puts a lot of effort. He's way ahead of his competition, and some people really like to take it out fast, and some people like to close fast. So that's two different
Yeah.
things. Even if you're good in all the four strokes, at the end of the day, your strategy matters, and his strategy is just to go all guns blazing for the first 350s and just swim how much ever he can in the last 50. So I think, so as far as I see it, it's fine, it's fine. And
Okay.
30 is okay, but I think what he would look at is like maybe sacrifice a second for the fly and go 2 seconds fast and freestyle. Maybe that's what he would look at. So yeah.
Черный каскад, вижу твой взгляд, степного я мог тебя взять, но ты не моя, когда тебе снова считать потери.
That's a great strategy. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. So also one of very common swimmers have in common is that they have like peculiar superstitions before the race. Like some some start a very well-known superstition is Michael Phelps backslap. So I was just curious about yours, any kind of superstitions that you have, or you feel like this is a kind of my superstition or something that I do in particular just on the race day or before the race.
Okay, so before the race, I don't have any particular superstition. Like when I'm at the pool, I just do my stretching and then race and all. But I think my superstitions come in when I'm in the hotel room, or just before the finals, between the heats and finals. So what I normally do is, I lie down on my bed for like some 40 to 50 minutes, and I close my eyes, and um, I visualize my race, right? Uh, Mostly it will be a tape which is run by my dad. My dad will send me through Google Drive or something, and it'll be about how my race is going to run, and how I'm going to do, and everything. So visualize. I like that technique, mental imagery. So, and it has worked for me. So I do that, and after that, I take a hot shower, before the meet. So I feel like that warms me up, and again, it has worked for me. Necessarily, it may not work for others, but I have done a lot of experimentation when it comes to that. So yeah, I think these are the only two things I have particular when it comes to competition. Rest of it will be like how I do normally, in practice.
Yeah, but the visualization race that you said, like the pre-race kind of strategy, I think it's kind of a very common in like the elite swimmers. They always go through like a visualization, like a run through their exact race just before, like a couple of hours before the exact like the final of that event. So yeah,
Hmm.
but that hot shower is something like very new to me.
I mean,
Yeah,
see, when it comes to visualization, also like many people do it differently, right? Some people like just visualize right before, when they're in the seating room, on the calling room, and stuff like that. But yeah, so I take it in a different way when it comes to that, because I don't want to think when I'm in the pool, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Like a good news coming all the way from Italy that Sajjan Prakash had his A cut in the 200 fly, so he went 156.38 in the 200 fly. So you have been on like several national teams with Sajjan Prakash, and so what's your say about his victory last night?
I mean, all I can say is he deserved it for sure. He's been I've been training with him since the age of 12 or something. So I know him. He's seen me grow. I've seen him grow, and it's a really great thing, seeing an Indian swimmer achieve that A cut. And yeah, he deserved it. And for his discipline, for his hard work, the only name comes to my mind is Sajan, that who could do the A qualification time. And also he's also overcome many obstacles on his way. It has definitely not been easy for him the past few years with the injury and stuff, but he's really done well. I think his willpower was, you know, amazing. And yeah, truly an inspiration for others. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what like came to my head yesterday. Like you know, in the history of Indian swimming, no other one like swimmer has got an A card. I just was like curious. You have been like watching him also because you have been training with him. So what according to you like does like make Sargent stand out from the crowd and achieve such great heights in terms of swimming and his career? He's like a two-time Olympian now, so it is his second Olympic, and I don't think he's any kind of a teenager because uh, he's kind of grown up, so it's not like that he's having a good time with his body, and his body would always to try to get into kind of a comfort zone because he's aging, like to be honest. So what
Definitely.
according to you makes him stand out?
I think the discipline factor is like crazy with Sajan. the time, like the way we approach training, like you have to come to training on time, and he's really strict when it comes to that. Like how he approaches practice and all these things, and consistently doing that for more than 10 years, it's really tough for anyone. Okay, and I think Sajan has done that in a very uh, good way. Yeah, I'd say that. I think that's what sets him apart, because it's not easy to do something consistently for more than 10 years. You could like train really hard for 2 years and go for nationals, but doing that for like, since
Mm.
from the age of 18 or 17 till like 27, 28, it's really good. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Now that is some one of the swimmers, like Indian swimming is like one of the swimmers got like the A card, and I feel like Indian swimming is going in the right direction, and we can have a lot of upcoming swimmers who can get A card in the following like years and the Olympic Games. Yeah. So, any kind of parting thoughts or advice that you want to share with the fellow, swimmers or the upcoming youngsters?
Um, I mean, the only advice I could say is like be patient, because it will really take time for results to come, and that's a fact. Okay, so when you approach your goals, be very reasonable, be time specific, but be reasonable with your goals. Don't be like, okay, next year I'm going to be, I mean, you can tell that next year I could be a national champion, but you should also be realistic with your goals, and you should be patient. If something doesn't go in your way, it's fine. Just work towards, see the past and work towards how you can make it better. So, yeah, that's what I like to say.
Yeah. Thank you, Shiva, and for sitting down with us and having a chat about all these factors of swimming. It was great having you on board. And thank you and all the best.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.